Hello everyone, this is Rachel live from the Kalkine TV studios in Sydney and you're watching the early trades. Let us take you through the market charter and the key developments. Australian shares edged higher on Wednesday as energy stocks rose, tracking an uptick in oil prices. Losses in gold and technology capped the ASX gains. Oil prices rebounded as producer group OPEC Plus is expected to hold a meeting to discuss an output policy, negating the concerns about India's coronavirus crisis that could dent a recovery in fuel demand. Gold traded in a narrow range as investors awaited policy signals from the Fed's meeting. Spot gold dropped 0.3% to $1,777.57 an ounce. The US gold futures closed 0.1% down at $1,777.8 an ounce. The top percentage gainer on the benchmark index was Ansell, after projecting strong sales growth for the half year and full year. The manufacturer of protective industrial and medical gloves, Ansell, said that its financial performance since January 2021 has been stronger than expected. The top percentage losers on the index were Barbara and JB Hi-Fi. Both the companies reported disappointing earnings for the quarter. JB Hi-Fi stated that its Chief Executive Officer Richard Murray would exit the company at the end of August after 18 years. Shares of Bingo Industries were the most traded by volume for the second day in a row. That's after they said on Tuesday it would be bought by funds managed by Macquarie Group for $1.8 billion. Among the sectors, energy stocks rose, tracking gains in oil prices. Viva Energy led gains after they said they expected $15 million in government aid for a refinery in the first quarter. Financial sector gains were led by QBE Insurance Group and Virgin Money UK. Several financial players remain in the news today. Westpac would pay up to $30 million to settle a class action under agreement with Shine Lawyers. Steadfast has raised its earnings guidance for the financial year ending in June on account of growing revenue and earnings in the 9 months to March. Premier Investments has appointed Richard Murray as Chief Executive Officer of Premier Retail. That's effective from the 4th of October this year. The Suncorp Group said that it would sell its Australian wealth business Suncorp Portfolio Services to LGIA Super for $45 million. The sale would include a fixed amount of $26.6 million along with regulatory capital. Technology stocks are under the pressure, with Link Administration Holdings leading the losses after a consortium, including the Carlyle Group and Pacific Equity Partners, withdrew their bid for the company. Other newsmakers include retail player Coles. They announced their third quarter sales fell to $88.758 billion. That's from $9.226 billion on the prior year's corresponding quarter. Further, IGO said that its third quarter revenue dipped 21% to $185.7 million. That's compared to the second quarter due to lower metal volumes sold. The profit after tax climbed 378% quarter on quarter to $8.8 million. Now let's scan through what's driving the overall share market performance. The US equities markets softened from record peaks on Tuesday as optimism about a global economic recovery was overshadowed by caution before a policy decision by the US Fed, an upcoming earnings announcement from a number of blue chip companies. A flat closing on the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 depicted that many investors stayed on the sidelines ahead of the Fed meeting, which ends on Wednesday. The Fed is likely to confirm that it will continue with its easy monetary policy to help the economy. Traders will watch out for first quarter consumer price data in Australia on Wednesday. The CPI data is expected to show inflation still undershooting the country's central bank's 2 to 3% target. That's despite hefty monetary and fiscal stimulus. Besides, market charter is also driven by India's virus havoc. For the past few days, India remains to be a global concern as the country is struggling with surging coronavirus infections that are overwhelming their healthcare system. In Europe, bank results caught attention. Robust earnings sent shares of Euro's biggest bank by assets, HSBC, up 4.2%, while UBS fell 2% after an unexpected hit linked to the collapse of hedge fund Archegos. Scott Morrison will today announce a $747 million military package amid rising tensions between Australia and China. Zooming the lens on US market performance overnight, the S&P 500 decreased by 0.02% to 4,186.72. The Nasdaq Composite Index declined 0.34% to 14,090.22. The Dow Jones was up 0.01% to 33,984.93, and the small cap Russell 2000 rose 0.14% to 2,301.27. Tesla's shares fell 4.53% on Tuesday. That's despite the company's record first quarter earnings. General Electric shares dropped lower after the company posted a net loss of $2.8 billion in the first quarter. Shares of United Parcel Service rallied to its 52-week high after the package delivery company reported a 27% year-on-year growth in its first quarter consolidated revenue. Both Alphabet and Microsoft Corp have beaten analysts' expectations, with Microsoft reporting its biggest revenue growth since 2018. Apple, Facebook and Qualcomm are scheduled to publish their results on Wednesday. Moving on now to the currency space. The dollar hovered near multi-week lows and traded in a range as traders avoided taking big positions before the Fed meeting. The US dollar index rose 0.024%. Bond traders were closely watching the auction of $62 billion of 7-year US Treasuries. The benchmark 10-year notes fell 16/32 in price to yield 1.627%. That's compared to 1.57% on Monday. Moving on to digital asset space now, Bitcoin rose 1% to $54,636. The world's most popular cryptocurrency skyrocketed by nearly 10% on Monday. That's after falling almost 20% from its all-time high hit this month. And on Monday, the bellwether surged on reports that JP Chase is planning to offer a managed Bitcoin fund. Next week, we look at the commodity space. Palladium prices hit a record of $2,962.50 per ounce, spurred by persistent supply worries. Iron ore prices also hit a record high on robust Chinese demand. Iron ore in the September contract on the Dalian Commodity Exchange closed 4.3% higher at 1,145 yuan. The high-grade Brazilian index, 65% F fines, also rose to a record high of $226.90 a tonne. Commodity supercycle, US earnings charter and upcoming economic releases are definitely carving out a different territory for the market's movement. Stay tuned with Kalkine TV for more market live updates. We'll be back with more updates on the markets, the economy, diverse themes and sectors. I'm Rachel Jones, signing off for Kalkine TV.